Just got a notification the other day saying that I have now uploaded 1,000 YouTube videos, and I was actually a little bit surprised. Granted, they're not 1,000 long form videos. It's probably for me a ratio of maybe 1 to 3, which means that probably made 250 long forms and maybe 750 odd shorts, but that's still a lot. And by all measures, whether you're measuring this from an analytical or technical point of view, or whether you're measuring it from a social point of view, and if you're measuring it from a monetization point of view, I think we can all agree that this channel has been an absolute utter failure. Now, let's not beat around the bush. Someone who's made 1,000 videos of any ilk to have this sort of engagement is not impressive at all. And most people, if you were to tell that story, they would tell you to stop, because you're just wasting your time. Nobody's watching, nobody cares, and you're better off spending your time doing something else. This might not be your thing. But if my only goal for this channel was to do those things, then I would 100% agree, because yes, this is not the channel that is what I would have imagined or envisaged it to be after, I would say, probably 2 years of working really hard. Now, working really hard is a relative term, right? For me, working really hard means I'm trying to do my best to squeeze things in between my other life responsibilities. This is not my job. I have a full-time job, I have family, I have other responsibilities, and I'm just doing this when I can. And I'm not going to lie, some weeks it's really difficult. Not because I'm unmotivated, it's because I find it hard to find the time and the circumstance to be able to do it. I cannot, at this point, devote any more time to this channel than I am. And I'm basically just trying to, right now, it's Sunday morning, and I've just done a few things which are responsibilities, and I'm sitting out here, starting to rain. There's nowhere else in the house that I can do it where there is quiet. So I'm out here getting a little bit wet and making this video the best I can, and I'm okay with that. I've got the DJI Mic Mini on, and I'm shooting with the Insta360 Go Ultra. So there's no fancy equipment, there's no fancy lighting. This is me. I'm now at the point where I know that one of the principles of making YouTube videos or making content is not to make content for you all of the time, but I feel like right now I just want to express a little bit more of myself and just show a little bit more of what I'm about. A lot of people come onto social media and they think that they have to fit this certain profile, this certain persona, and act in a way which is not them. You see that a lot online, and a lot of these people actually get a lot of traction because they follow trends and they're doing stuff. But ultimately, they give up. They get this rush, they go viral for a little bit, but ultimately it's not who they are. And unless you can make enough money to have that as the justification of you continue to work on your content, you're going to give up because it's not something you want to do. And right now, despite everything I've just said, I still love making content. I just can't find time to make it, but I actually do love making it. And for me to pretend to be who I'm not, for me to make videos because it's something that might be trending, it's something that people are searching, I think that given my overall circumstance and the time that I have and the energy, the physical and the emotional energy I have, I think that would make me stop. And I don't want to stop. Now I'm going to throw some quotes at you because I love quotes. And one of them is, you've probably heard this from me before, and it's that the definition of insanity is you trying to continue to do the same thing, expecting different results. And in some ways I've been doing that over the last couple of years. I'm making videos that are very similar. My tone's very similar. I'm not showing my personality very much, and I'm getting the same amount of views. So if I was to delve into my analytics of this channel, everything's kind of gradually increasing or static. I don't see any particular videos that stand out. I don't see anything that, either way, I don't see any videos that bomb, and I don't see any videos that suddenly are very popular, because it just feels like it's all same. That's my thing now. That's my definition of insanity. That's my scenario, is that I'm making things that are very similar. Topic changes a little bit, but the way I present it comes across, and the way I come across is very similar, and I don't think it's working, clearly. Another thing that I hear all the time with other content creators is that you've got to stick to your niche. You've got to stick to your niche, you've got to narrow down, you've got to focus, and you've got to only talk about one thing because you're scaring your audience. So if one day I'm making videos about cameras, next day I'm making videos about my life, next day I'm making a vlog about what I had for lunch, it's driving away the audience, number one, because there might be people who are only interested in my tech reviews, and they come back the next week after seeing something they liked, and they come back, and the next thing I'm out in the city with the family trying foods and stuff, and they go, oh, I'm not going to watch this anymore, this is not what I signed up for. And two is apparently it throws off the algorithm in that it doesn't know who to show your videos to, who you're trying to aim for as an audience. Are you aiming for a photographer who's interested in seeing reviews of new cameras? Are you talking about food? Are you doing travel and all this kind of stuff? And it throws off the algorithm. It doesn't know who to share the stuff to, and ultimately shares it to no one. No one sees it. And that's the thing. This is one thing that I think could be the problem with my channel. Obviously, I don't think that I'm the greatest content creator of all time, not by any stretch of the imagination. But when I look back at my content, even though I'm biased because I'm watching my own stuff, I feel like it's decent. And sometimes I feel like no one knows that I'm here. I've relied on things like hashtags and YouTube recommendations and all that kind of stuff and word of mouth. I just feel like that people aren't being shown or are being notified that I'm making videos and I'm uploading videos. I know that that sounds also a bit lame. It's like, yeah, people probably know that you're making videos, but you suck and no one wants to watch them, which I accept. But there's this possibility inside me that people don't know that I'm around, and I'm working on that too. I'm working on getting my word out a little bit, so that I would prefer to have 1,000 people watch a video and say it sucks, rather than 3 people watch it and have no feedback. So I have no yardstick or measure of how I can improve stuff, because no one's commenting, because no one's actually seeing it. And I feel like that's what's happening at the moment. So why don't I just follow the recommendations of other people and just quit? Clearly, I'm not cut out for this in terms of money making. Clearly, there's nothing so far in my content that is compelling people to come back or compelling people to come at all. The figures don't lie. They show who's watching, and I'm so grateful for the people who are watching my content. I feel like whether there's one person or whether there's a million people, I feel like that if I can in any way impact the lives of even one single person, then this is what I'm here for. To be honest, I don't have any plans of giving up. I wrestle with this from time to time because I know that my life is getting pulled in 1,000 different directions, and I feel sometimes guilty. I feel guilty right now. I feel guilty literally for sitting here, because there's stuff that needs to be done otherwise that 99% of people would consider more important than me sitting here making this video, even though it's something I enjoy. I wrestle with it every day, that I have these responsibilities that I think I need to fulfill. And sometimes I feel guilty for spending a little bit of time doing stuff, perfecting my craft. But there are times when I feel like I'm making a video, I haven't given it the thought that it deserves. The editing is like, just do it, get it out, because that's all the time you have. And it's not so much that I'm mailing it in, but it's like, if I had that extra 15 minutes, if I had that extra half an hour, I could make this so much better. But the question is it the production quality that's driving people away and scaring people away? Or is it the fact that my content isn't resonating with anybody? There's lots of things to think about from that point of view. More quotes that I'm going to throw at you now. There's things that people say try and motivate you, and sometimes it resonates and sometimes it doesn't. Things like, you never know when you quit. For example, if I was to decide to chuck it in now and make this my last ever video, you don't know that this next video that I make next week could be the one that takes me on a brand new direction. It's like when they say, like, people quit just short of the finish line. They don't know that just around the next corner is the finish line, and they think it's still like 1,000,000 miles away, and they quit. And they just needed to push that one little bit more just to get to the finish line. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And in terms of a baseball analogy, if you can get on base 3 times out of 10, so that's only 30%, you make it into the Hall of Fame. So what that's saying is you can screw up 70% of the time and still be the greatest of all time. So if you can imagine that, is that a motivation? Is that an inspiration for me to keep going? I sit here with you right now, content in my heart that I'm doing what I can given the circumstance which allows. I don't know if I said that right, but basically what I'm trying to say is I am doing the best that I can right now, y'all. I am trying to devote as much time as I can to my passion of content creation, within the boundaries of not letting everybody else down and not shirking my responsibility and not having everything else be neglected in the process. This is not a huge part of my life from that point of view. I have many things that I am responsible for that I need to take far more seriously than my content, because logic tells me that this is only a hobby. I'm making no money from this, and I am in no position where I can neglect my work, my family, to take this over. It's not like I'm making a full-time income from my content and I can use that as a reason and as a springboard to greater things, and I can go and quit my job and focus fully on this. This is purely a passion project, and I'm making these videos fully knowing that there may be very few people who are actually watching this, and sensibly thinking about it, I need to understand that because it's unlikely that's going to be a lot of people watching this video, that I can't devote any unnecessary amount of time to making it, because it is not fair for everyone else around me. For me to sit out here while everyone else is doing stuff and chores and responsibilities, for me to sit out here to make something that maybe only 100 people, 200 people are going to watch. That's the reality. There's no point complaining about it, wishing that it could be better, because it is what it is. And one day if things change, then I'll readjust my priority and my time allocation. But right now it is what it is. And all I want to do is I just want to have fun with this. Like, truthfully, I just want to be at the point where I can just show snippets of my life and show you stuff that I like and stuff that I probably don't like, and how it may either entertain you or it might save you some time and some money. One of the things that I like doing when I, for example, review tech, is that I don't like to tell you that everything's great, everything's awesome, because you know this. If you want to find out a piece of tech is awesome, you just go to the manufacturer's website and everything is the best. But user experience tells you otherwise, and this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you my experience, how things are a bit more clunky than they make it, how it's hard to install it, it's hard to set it up. It's like you thought this was going to happen. When you actually use it in real life, it doesn't work that way. And when you have problems, sometimes you have trouble getting the appropriate tech support, because sometimes customer support for tech isn't as good as it should be, because there are companies out there who, once they've got your money, they're kind of not all that interested in what you have to say about it. They're not really interested if things go wrong, and that kind of stuff frustrates me. And if I can in any way help you guys by showing you my experience and saying, like, the best product is crap if something goes wrong and you get no help and if you get no support to get it fixed. That's the bottom line. It's like, there are reasons why people go to stick with Apple even though they don't innovate as much as some of the Android companies, because their after-sales support is better. There's reasons why people get Teslas rather than the cheaper electric cars, because Tesla makes it easier to upgrade stuff and makes it easier for you to get things fixed in case things go wrong. There are a million other reasons apart from just because it's good why you should or you shouldn't invest in a piece of tech, because it costs money and it costs you time. And this is what I want to talk about in my videos. And I do like showing snippets of my life. I like showing the fact that we're going out hunting for jellycats. I like trying new foods. I like showing you where we go. But I get it, that doesn't interest a lot of people. I am not a newbie at making YouTube videos. It may sound like I am, may seem like I am, because of the numbers of my channels. If you came to my channel and you saw the number of subs and things like that, you think this guy's pretty new. But I'm not new. I've been around. I know what doesn't work. I don't know what works, but I know what doesn't work. And what I do know is that I just love making videos. I would make them if no one watched. And if that is, I think, the biggest sign that I should continue, is the fact that even if nobody watched this video, I would still be happy to spend my time making it and editing it. If I wasn't, I would definitely quit. There is no mileage in what I'm doing now financially, but the amount of points I've scored in terms of my spiritual and emotional happiness from making these videos is pretty high. I've learned a lot. I learned what not to do. I learned to be more confident in front of a camera. I learned that it's okay to not always be serious. I've learned that it's okay to have people not like your video. I learned that it's okay for people to write nasty things in your comments. I learned it's okay for you to think that something's great but no one else agrees with you. I've learned that if you keep making videos that you don't like making just because you think it's trending, it's not going to work anyway, and you're going to hate it and you're going to just want to stop. I've learned that no matter how good you think you are, your audience gets to decide whether you're good or not. You don't get to tell people that your videos are good. It's reflected in whether people are engaging with your stuff. I've learned that sometimes you spend a disproportionate amount of time doing stuff that doesn't give you obvious rewards. I've learned so much from this YouTube channel, and I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't take anything back or anything. The fact that this has not been a smooth and fast road is just a sign that I have plenty more to learn and that I'm not ready in some ways to be at a level which is higher than what I am. Because I think sometimes there's another quote, this is going to be maybe one of the final ones, is that says something along the lines of, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And perhaps I'm not ready to receive that important tidbit of information that's going to take me to the promised land. Maybe this is just not the season of my life where I have the capacity to make this into a financially viable enterprise, because it's just not like all of a sudden you're going to make heaps of money from YouTube. When you start becoming a commercial entity, when you start using your content as a financial thing, all this pressure adds up. Right now, if I want to make a video, I can. If I choose not to, I don't have to. If I want to talk about anything, I can do it. There's no expectation of me. No one cares whether I make a video about my car, about jellycats, about Pokemon, about the food I eat, about the camera I bought. No one really cares. But if it becomes your bread and butter, if this is your sole income where you don't have another job and you have to pay your bills, your mortgage, your utilities, you've got to pay for your kids' schooling, then I think it has an impact on the stuff you make. Number one, I think personally that it would put a lot more pressure on me, and I need to make the thing that I think the audience would want, and I need to make the content which I think that the brands would want to hear. And if that's going to compromise my principle, if that's going to make me do stuff, make stuff, say stuff that I don't believe in, then I don't want it. Like, I actually don't want it. So there's a lot of reasons, and I know a lot of people are going to think this is just a load of crock and these are just all excuses for you not being successful. I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you right now that I'm not successful at this. If you go by the standard measures that everyone goes by. But if you go by the measure of whether I'm happy making these videos and whether I'm okay with the fact that I'm never going to be a famous YouTuber, if I'm okay with the fact that I'm going to have to be a doctor for the rest of my life, I'm okay. We put so much pressure on ourselves and we have this expectation that if we make it, they will come. This is not the field of dreams. This is not something that's given to you. It's not something that you deserve because you've made 1,000 videos or 2,000 videos. It's not something that's automatically granted. It's not something that, even though you put in a lot of, there are unlimited amount of people who work hard. There's an unlimited amount of people in the world who do everything that they think is right and they try their best, and ultimately they still have not attained the level which is proportional to the amount of effort they put in, and that's life. If you're going to spend your whole life being unhappy with your progress and where you are, and you wish and you get jealous and you get envious and you start just feeling bad and about everything because you're not where you think you be and where you think you should be better because your stuff is better, you don't get to decide, number one. Two, life doesn't work that way. Just to finish off, do I have any tips for aspiring content creators who are just coming up? Yes, I do. One is, if you manage to have something that pops and goes viral, good luck to you. I've not had one that's done that, and I couldn't imagine how I would feel if that's happened. But even if it does, just remember, it's still going to be a lot of hard work. A one-off viral video isn't going to give you the life that you expect that it's going to give you. And you just got to have to bear in mind that hard work also does not necessarily give you the life or give you the attention or the recognition that you would expect for it to give you. If you are new and you come into this arena and all you want to do is to make content, express yourself artistically, and tell people of your thoughts, and you don't care about monetization, I would say go for it. I would be at the point where I would just even not bother looking at the analytics initially, because all that's going to do is it's going to zap your confidence. It's going to say, I told you so. It's going to make you demotivated if you don't get anything. And conversely, if you all of a sudden get traction, it's going to give you this really big swollen head that you are untouchable and you are the best. And if you're not prepared to put in the hard work, if you're going to deviate from your path just for the sake of numbers, you are going to fail ultimately. If you're here because you wanted to make a living out of YouTube, then good luck to you. I'm not saying you can't, because there are so many people I see who have made a living out of YouTube, but you just got to be prepared that you may not necessarily be one of those people. And if you are one of those people, you are going to have to work really, really hard as well. Nothing in life comes easy, nothing in life comes for free, and there are sacrifices no matter what. But if you just want to have fun, if you just want to make videos that are cool and you want to hang out with your friends, you want all your friends, your family to laugh, then this is probably the best thing you can do, because you learn from every single video. You learn the angles, you learn the lighting, you learn sound, you learn composition, you learn storytelling. And whether, even if YouTube doesn't become anything for you, it will help you in other parts of your life, because the ability that I can now talk at this camera and not feel nervous about it translates to the fact that I am no longer nervous when I speak in front of an audience. Like if I have to give presentations at work, if I have to teach a group of students at work, I'm cool. I'm super not nervous, because I'm just used to talking to people. I know from that point of view, I know what I'm talking about. And once you know what you're talking about and you're the most knowledgeable person about that topic in the room, nothing should bother you, nothing's going to faze you, nothing's going to trick you, and I'm good. So hopefully for those of you who are watching this who are either non-content creators or someone who just wants to start out creating content, I hope that you found a lot of value in this video, because I wish that I saw a video like this when I started, so that I didn't come aboard with this delusion that everything was going to be super easy and that upload, film, edit, upload, wait for the bucks to come in, wait for the subscribers to come in, because that doesn't happen. But ultimately, whatever happens with this channel, I'm good. This is going to be something I'm going to look back on with fondness for the rest of my life, because I did it, because I tried. And one of the things that I don't want to live with is regret, that I wish. Do you know what I wish? This is the last thing I'm going to say in this video. Do you know what I wish? I wish that I had this capability when I was a kid. Like back then, there were no small cameras, there was no Bluetooth microphones, everything was expensive, storage was expensive, cameras was expensive, uploading to the internet. I don't think we even had the internet when I was at the point. But if I was a kid, I would have filmed everything. I would have vlogged everything. Me going outside playing cricket, I would have vlogged about school, I would have vlogged about uni, would have vlogged about my travel. I would have just recorded everything, because apart from the fact that I could upload it to YouTube, these serves as a memory for leaner times later in life, potentially, where you're just trying to remember or look back on with great fondness of the memories that you created. And what better way is it than to create video? Pictures tell 1,000 words, but videos tell the entire story. My kids are going to be able to watch this. People who used to know me at some point would be able to come back and watch this and just get a glimpse of who I am. And I really wish that there was this technical capability when I was a kid. So every person out there now, you should be super appreciative of the fact that you have this ability. Like, you can buy a cheap camera, you can use your phone, you don't need any fancy gear. And the thing is, you could upload this stuff for free. You can upload this to any social media account and you do not have to pay a cent. It's not like you had to pay for storage. You don't need to pay for a website. You can upload this stuff for free and it stays there forever. How cool is that? Anyway, that's all I've got to say on this topic. Hope that you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you next week for another brand new video. See ya.